Okay, folks. So this is a page from my FOIA response for my FOIA request I had sent in to the Southern Nevada Water District, and I wanted to find out some specific information, and I got most of what I asked for. But of course, there was information that they didn't have a report that provided for. And gathering this requested information requires staff to search through each individual letter sent from the city of Henderson and will be subject to potential redaction of customer private information. I can request redacted copies, but it's going to cost me money. It's going to be subject to research fees, and I did get basic information though. I wanted to find out how many warning letters were sent out, and they did supply that. There was 7,549 warning letters for waterways sent out. There were a total of 3,061 violation letters sent out, and there was a total of $1,206,960 in total fines that they've received so far for this whole water crisis we're in here. And I got a list of the names of the people, information to include any names and administrative titles of all persons assessing fines and issuing notices of violations, whether in the field of investigation or office administration. And I got this short list here of people, and I looked up a little bit information about salaries. These people make a pretty good amount of money. Some of them with, the benefits packages that they get and the little extras are making almost $500,000 a year. Okay. So you tell me, if you had a job where you were making 90 to $100,000 a year, or 30, dollars an hour, you had a job where you were making that amount of money every year, where your sole job was to assess fines and issue notices of violations for waterways to residents in your town. Would you want the crisis to come to an end? That's my point of doing this video. They've already made 1.2 million just off the fines alone. That doesn't include all of the additional federal funding that has been flooding into the state because of the state of emergency that we're in for water shortage and water use. And now we're getting warnings about energy shortages, but yet they're still building up housing all the way around us, right? We're supposed to be in a state of crisis that necessitates them creating all of these job positions, creating all of these tasks for these people to do. Because keep in mind as well, there's people that drive around in the water patrol police cars that the taxpayers pay for. You know what I mean? Looking for water waste, looking for offenders that they can issue the fines and notices for. So you tell me, when you have that many people involved in the program and worked into the policies, and you've created all of these jobs and all of this employment, would you want to see the crisis cured? Would you want to see the emergency declaration get lifted? Would you want to lose all of the money and funding that you're getting for the crisis? I don't know. I think there's some ethical things going on here when it comes to our water use, and it's bothersome. And I don't know if I'm going to request additional information, because I really don't want to have to pay out a shit ton of money to find out the information that I want. But I'd be more curious, because I had spoken to somebody a while ago, and I had asked them, do you know, as far as where the fines are concerned, like what's the ratio of fines that are being paid from commercial property owners and residents and people that are just trying to survive and live and maybe have a little bit of green space to enjoy on their property? You know what I mean? What is the ratio? What's the percentage that's being paid out by commercial property owners? Because the one article that I had read about this a while ago, they did an interview with one of the commercial property owners that was assessed fines. And it's like they don't do any other interviews with residents or anybody else that's being assessed fines for water waste and being punished for using too much water. I mean, as far as us residents go, we have a certain amount that we're allowed to use every month. And then they charge extra. If you go over that amount, you pay a higher rate. And I think it's bullshit. And when you look at the interview that was done with a commercial property owner, that person said in so many words, and in fact, I think his exact words were, "It is a small price to pay for fixing the issue." Maybe for you, dude, but when you're talking about residents and people that are scraping and just barely getting by, and they just happen to have to pay an extra amount because they use an extra amount of water or something to water their grass or something that they want, that they're paying for, we're getting charged a higher rate for. I don't know. This amount here, the 1.26, this is just from the fines. So there's other money flooding in because of this state of emergency, this water crisis, and this drought situation that we're in out here. So I would argue that the people involved with all of this don't have an interest in curing the problem, because they most certainly don't want to lose $500,000 a fucking year. And some of these people make more than our police officers and our firefighters. Okay. These people make more money than our firefighters do. Look it up, research the information on salaries in Nevada and Southern Nevada. These people that work in water conservation, that are supposedly combating and tackling our severe situation in our water crisis, make more money than our fire and our police department. Make that make sense. Okay. Anyway, I've been going through this Global Trends 2040, A More Contested World, that was posted up in March of 2021. And it's pretty interesting to read how our Department of Intelligence, okay, this was a publication of the National Intelligence Council, okay, right here. Global Trends 2040, a more contested world, is some serious freaking heavy propaganda that really pretty much shows and predicts that the US is going to completely fall and China's going to end up having a bigger say in the global situation for everyone, setting examples. I mean, there's so much in this. It's 156 freaking pages and there's so much in it. And I've just finished reading through it's just, oh my goodness. I would say that our Department of National Intelligence, if you want to even call them that, it's an insult. Our Department of National Insulters would have us believe that by 2040, the West and the US and America is not going to be at all what it is right now. And they're predicting some things that right now, with stuff that's going on right now for China, some of the stuff they predict in this file, in this story, it would seem like we're like heading right for this global trend that our Department of National Insulters put out back in 2021. So just leave a comment and let me know if you want me to do a little bit more on this and read some of this information. I don't know. I got to warn you, it's triggerific. It is just completely triggerific. I got to say. Let me know in the comments if you want to know more about it. I would be happy to share, do a couple different videos and read some interesting inserts from the Global Trends 2040, a more contested world, from a publication of the National Insulters Council. Ugh. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Know that I appreciate you and that you matter very much to me.